This route we're going to call /API/fraudscore, and this is the route that's going to accept incoming requests from our client and handle those requests. First, we want to accept the incoming request from our front end. Then we want to forward the IP address of that request to the IPStack Security Implementation API. We want to get the response from the API back that's going to include that security data object. We're going to analyze the security data using an IP risk scoring algorithm that we create using those weights. We're going to determine the threat level of the request, and then we're going to assign it a fraud score, and we're going to return that score to the front end. We're going to use Express, which is a framework for quickly building servers in Node. And we're also going to install dotenv, which is going to allow us to create a dotenv file to keep our secrets, like our API access key, nice and secure. And the reason we do this is because you need to keep your API access key really secure. You can't just be committing it to online repositories and that kind of thing. So you put it in this .env file, which never gets committed to GitHub or anything like that. The first thing we want to do in order to send this IP address to the API is we need to pull it off of the incoming request. And it's actually really easy to do that with Express, because Express provides you with this really handy little request object that you can just grab the IP from, and then we can send it to IPStack. IPStack will analyze it and send it back. And then we will decide based on that response what the fraud score is, and then we will return that fraud score to the client so the client can do whatever it wants to do with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to mock out a public-facing IP address by running a reverse proxy server using NGINX. And we're going to go ahead and set that up right now. So this sounds super complicated, but it's actually really not all that difficult. So to quickly recap here, we have forwarded the IP address to IPStack, we have received a response that includes the security data, and now we're going to analyze that security data using the weights that we established before to determine how risky that IP address is. So we analyzed the security data, we determined the threat level of the request and assigned it a fraud score, and then we returned that fraud score to the client.